Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Wargame Red Dragon replay cast. Today it's a 3 vs 3 on Tropic Thunder, a slightly older game that I had archived. And up top we have our Super Russian player named Black Irish, and Faba as the Red 4 team. As the Blue 4 team, we have MrSotko as myself, Grey Goon, and Chili Pillow. And we're going to speed this up to the 10x mark. And this game was pretty interesting because it pretty much shows how you win on this map. And this map has exceptionally high numbers of cap points, as you can see, +2, +2, +2, and your other side does as well. So really the trick to this map, of course, other than winning, is getting some early CVs out. So that's what we did this game. Grey Goon actually went some early CVs. I put my CV here in India, and Grey Goon sent one to Hotel and to Golf. And I do believe he may have sent one to Echo at the start as well. Indeed, sending one to Echo. So he pretty much bought a couple extra CVs right at the beginning to cap pretty much everything. So we have the +2, +2, which is already capped by +2 and 2 on the other side as well. But we're also going to get Golf here and Echo, so that's going to give us a huge advantage right at the start of the game. And we have some choppers here that are going to give me a hard time getting inside, but I have triple Hawks moving on up, and Grey Goon had double Patriots, and so our anti-air is quite epic. Of course, no helicopter attacks on the Patriot, but either way. So a bombing run goes off there, forces some units back just a little bit. I'm bringing in tons of Jaegers, as usual. And Chili Pillow here taking Foxtrot, and Grey Goon overall going to be taking the right side of the map. Has a couple M1 IPs, and there's a Tunguska and a UM coming over here and firing away on some of my A1Gs that are moving into the town line here. And so now it's Spetsnaz Gru and Saparis versus a whole bunch of Jaegers. And I'm going to take these Jaegers here. I'm going to try and put them up as far as possible to the edge of the line here so they can't get over that bridge. And I'm going to be working on these ones to get up to here so they can't get over that bridge as well. And the IPs are now inside the wood line, but there's quite a bit of stuff here coming all into the wood line that will infest that area here. And the IL-102 doesn't quite make it close enough to the Patriots or the Hawks, and the Hawks fire, Patriots fire, so this IO-102 is totally lost. It did get off its bombing run though and took out tons of Jaegers and other various accoutrements there. And so now we have a +4 advantage because we not only have Echo and Foxtrot, but we have all of our starting ones as well. They are missing Delta and Foxtrot and Echo, which gives them a -3, if you will. I'll say +3. And they are trying to get over here with Morskaya Pekoda and T-72 OBR. And so they will be making their way across shortly. There's a Skrezit and some Iglas in the back as well. And here comes the quad Skyhawk. I was using Skyhawks for a little while. They're kind of fun. They're 45 apiece, and they only drop a few bombs, but they are sort of fun to use. So I just pretty much peppered up the whole area here with Skyhawks in random areas. And I'm not even sure if I get anything in the long run with them, but it was sure satisfying to do. And then losing them is kind of just because it doesn't really affect you all that much. So I bombed the area there. Didn't get too much, but no big deal. And the IPs did take out that UM that was up here. And however, Black Irish has made his way entirely into our wood line. And so that is not particularly good, but we have two AGS from Grey Goon here moving into the forest line. And the MiG-27 tries and fails to kill both of those IPs there, but my Hawks are there to fire on that. But I don't quite get it. I did fire a lot of missiles, but didn't quite get that, which does happen from time to time. The A1Gs here just going to cross the water, screw it. And the Grey Goon's CV has moved over to the right a little bit because of those Saparis. And now the IPs just chilling here, just waiting for anything that comes across that wood line there. So still a +4 advantage, 191 to 0. So again, a quick cap of these territories here is really, really nice on this map, and including Foxtrot and Echo as well. If you just bring in a CV from all of your allies on this map, if you do a 2 vs 2 or 3 vs 3, what have you, if you just bring in a ton of CVs, you have this initial huge advantage. Even if they were to push us out of Echo, and Foxtrot, and they capped Delta right now, we would already have a plus 200 advantage. So even if we kept the game how it was and didn't really lose any more points from there, we would still have that 200 advantage. So if it came close to the end, it would be very hard for them to win. So as you can see, this map here is a prime example of when to just mass CVs right off the bat and get them into those zones. And here comes the triple Skyhawk. I had lost one of the Skyhawks, and now I'm only down to 3 of them, but here it goes. Chili Pillow's Fallschirmjägers are subject to a bombing run here, and I think I actually bombed his Fallschirmjägers head on there, and because he had moved them, I believe at one point they were moved, and then I ended up bombing them completely, and I do believe I remember apologizing about that, about his Fallschirmjägers. Those are some very expensive units to lose as well, and I think that was my doing there. But the AGS here are going to be getting into the wood line, and there's a BMP-3 right here that they will have to defeat, and the AGS will have to take out some of these Motostrelki as well. And a couple Bradley IFVs moving up for Goon as well. Goon has one that will be already getting up there. And I have lost some of my Hawks overall, down to 2 there now. And the AGS spots the Motostrelki, the IPs, and the AGS take those out. And now the AGS here moving through the wood line, going after the BMP and Su-25 overhead. Checking out what's going on here. And the Su-25 fired away at my Hawks, but didn't quite get it. And here comes Skyhawk here. And Su-25 fires away at the Hawks, really wants those Hawks. And right now the Hawks are reloading, so they can't really quite fire on that Su-25, one of the most expensive planes in the game. 200 for that, but it has 16 air-to-ground missiles. And there goes another Hawk, and another Hawk falls there. But the Patriots are now online and firing away at that Su-25. And just a couple more shots, and that should go down. But it does have decent ECM. 20% ECM is not too bad, and there are certainly worse in the game, but it makes its way out of there and survives a day. LVTB 781s with Smoz here coming up into the wood line, and still the troops are spread out a little bit, and I could have seen I would have liked to see Black Irish here move all those troops all the way around here, try to get them to the edge of the line here, as when anything's going up that line, it'll just instantly get gibbed by the forest line troops. But he never really moved those ahead, and Aardvark here moving up. And going to be dropping away, and that's a pretty good spot there to hit, but they came a little early, and it was just pepper, and took all that out there. And the F1C, I think this might be pre-patch. This was sort of an archived replay of mine. I thought it was pretty decent how we had taken this map, and at the beginning with the maximum amount of CVs here, and Grey Goon just really went all out on the CVs. He had bought a couple extra CVs right off the bat to take Hotel, Golf, and Echo, which I thought was a pretty good idea, and that'll let Chili Pillow get Foxtrot and myself of India. And I brought up another Hawk there and some more Jaegers here moving up. And Bradley IFV here moving up into the area here with some Riflemen going to be dropping off there and get rid of those Motostrelki and all that good stuff. Meanwhile, the AGS here moving up to this small island woods to try and deal with this T-80BV. The M1IP here is inadequate. Apparently cannot penetrate that 17 frontal armor, but these AGS will be willing to do just that. And the IP here is very, very low. 1 bar of health and 1 shots. That BV, I think it was already damaged slightly at 27k here, moving on in. And going to try and get some of these AGS, and misses both of its shots. And now the Tunguska here is in a little bit of trouble. It's in the middle of the woods all by itself. And the Fallschirmjägers and Jaegers of Chili Pillow doing well, holding Foxtrot, and they never really got the chance to bring in a CV to Foxtrot. They probably could have brought one and parked it back here, but there was a Jaguar and some stuff over here that would have spotted that. So again, taking all these right off the bat was just a really, really good idea. 379 to 0. And like I said, even if they took over all these territories and shoved us out, we'd still have a half an hour to hold off this game and make sure they don't get any points, or we get those back, which is plenty of time with nearly 400 points. And now the Tunguska here is backing up for its life. Some Smas are running right along next to it. And as you can see, I brought my Jaegers all the way up to the edge of the town, and I had them up there for a while, but there was a lot of fighting going on, and this Potnose here firing away on the area, and the Aardvark here going after those, and so it's sort of a suicide Aardvark. It didn't get off its ammunition, but the Raven is in behind that, and Raven was a little bit too late to get that Book, but it did get it, but not before it destroyed that Raven. And another F-111C here coming to bomb out Foxtrot a little bit. And bringing up those Jaegers a little bit too close again. And there he goes. I takes out the Jaegers there. And that was definitely pre-patched because it's the 8 rounds of the F-111C, which I am ever so much miss those, as it was such a good bomber. It was just amazing. Me and Greygoon, we would actually take 2 F-111Cs side by side, and we would place one bomber like right here, for example, and then another one right here, and it would just take out everything on that line. And it was just so fun. Ever so satisfying. And Tunguska here trying to back up. And firing away on Smas now. And the small fires, misses. And the LVTP, they're all trying to get at it. And the Sma finally gets that, elites that Sma. And we do have some Sapperies up here that should be moving into the town, but it's just not enough to deal with all the Jaegers that I have up there. And this CV has been shuffling around inside of Echo for some time now. It started off over here, then it moved over here, and then it sort of just moved up here for safety. So very interesting there. And now the Potnose getting fired back. Counter-RD'd, if you will. And looks like one was taken out maybe there. Can't see through all the destruction. And no, I guess not. There was 5 there, and there are still 5. But it did force them back a little bit. And the MiG-27s here just pummeling all these Jaguars and such that are moving in. But still wasn't enough. Su-25 still alive. Unable to get that Su-25. We had a couple Tomcats that went out. I had a Thunderbolt not moving out as well to try and deal with some of the stuff in the back. And these Norovs here are going to be moving across. But again, it's not going to be too much here. I did supply some Jaegers to this area here in Foxtrot. And my Thunderbolt here fired a few rounds. And down to 2, and I may turn around and fire 2 more. And that's kind of why I like the Thunderbolt. Is just you just have so many rounds, although its accuracy is pretty low. But you, if you get lucky with the Thunderbolt and all of the Mavericks actually hit, then you can kill way more than just about any other air-to-ground fighter. Of course, except for the Su-25, which has like 20 air-to-ground missiles. But the Thunderbolt is just amazing how it can turn on a dime. You can attack troops with it with its 30 mil, or you can just turn on a dime. I've actually attacked interceptors that came after me, like ASF planes. You can just sort of turn around right after the interceptor that's coming after you, and that means that interceptor will go past you, and then you can turn around and actually fire your 30 mil on it. It's sort of satisfying and fun to use. But that is GG, and that is how you win Tropic Thunder. Just CV everything right off the bat. And that gets you a huge advantage right off the bat. And so then if you actually start to suffer a little bit after the game, mid-game or so, that means you have this huge advantage to work with, and you have a lot of time to actually get your ground and reposition yourself to win the game. But I hope you guys enjoyed the replay, and I will see you guys next time.